Yeousch!
Hey guys, No Excuse Queen here. What's up YouTube world? I'm so excited. I'm going to be bringing you guys the first exclusive look into Dead Space 3 right now as it releases all across the world. And trust me, it definitely still has that scare factor. Oh my god, you fucking asshole. Get off of me! Ugh. So aside from that, there's actually been a lot of additions that have been added to the game that are pretty cool. One of them is actually the scavenger bot, which will help you pick up all of the things that you need to create your weapons and create ammo, create med kits, all that stuff. All you have to do basically is just point it down. It has a radar, put it down as soon as it picks up a signal and walk away from it. And then later on, it will actually go back to your bench and deposit all the things that it found for you in there, which actually makes everything pretty much, you know, as easy as possible. Now, the first thing you guys are going to want to make is a torque bar. Do not forget to do that. It also picks up ration seals for you, which you can use to purchase downloadable content without having to use Microsoft points, or you could use Microsoft points if you choose to do so. Now, when you create weapons, the coolest thing about it is that you can completely and 100% customize your weapon to your liking. What you do is you pick up spare parts around, you know, around on your missions, and then when you do get back to your workbench, what you can do is you can start from a base. You pretty much create a handle, you create the type of engine that you would like to use as far as what's going to be firing or powering your gun. You can make a dual weapon, which will have a top and a bottom part to it, or you can just make single weapons if you prefer. I pretty much prefer the dual weapons. I do like them. I really didn't create too many weapons in the game because I ended up using one of the guns that were in the DLC. But when you do create the weapon, there's so many options to choose from. If you were to create, let's say, a pulse gun, you could create a pulse gun that fires, let's say, one at a time. You can create a pulse gun that fires 3 at a time, or you can create a pulse gun that fires like, you know, in shotgun spurts where it's actually spread out a lot more and it has a lot more width to it when you're shooting at somebody. But there's definitely a lot of different options as far as creating guns are concerned. You get 2 slots for attachments, and depending on how heavy your frame is for your gun, which is basically your handle, there are options to add circuits into that. The heavier it is, the more circuits you can add, the more you can actually build the gun up. This one in particular was 4x4, so it's 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom, and you can create your own circuits now. You don't actually have to go around looking for nodes. And if you have your scavenger bots out looking for you and you're out there defeating enemies and picking up all the stuff that you're finding, there should definitely be no shortage in being able to build up your weapons to their highest potential, depending on how you actually build them up. So it's actually a really good addition to the game, and I've definitely fallen in love with that. I prefer that way over looking for nodes and deciding whether or not I want to use the nodes for a door or actually use them to build up my gun. You can create everything in your workbench. The only thing that is a little bit different is there is no store. So you don't have to worry about purchasing anything. But you can create everything pretty much from the game except for a rig. You cannot make a rig or a new suit. There's actually a suit kiosk for that where all of your suits are going to be stored. One thing that I definitely loved about the game is that they introduced some new characters in here, some new types of necromorphs. Not all of them are the same from the past Dead Space games. They do have some new ones, but they do have some old ones that I was particularly looking for. One of them I call dinosaurs. The other one I call the babies with the exploding bottoms. But there is a lot of action in this game, and the game pretty much took off from exactly where it left off from. You have Ellie and Isaac, who are teamed up together, who are trying to ultimately destroy all of the markers. There is somebody that's trying to bring the markers back, and throughout the entire game you actually find out the origin of the markers and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. So if you get a chance, pay attention to the storyline. There's this one boss in here who you are going to end up fighting 3 times, and this is more or less like a little tip for you guys. When you do fight him, he's pretty easy. Just slow him down with some stasis. Shoot the arms, the tentacles that are popping out of the top of his head. Shoot the inside of his mouth. You're going to have to actually do that 3 times before he disappears. You're going to run into him 3 times. The 3rd time is actually going to be when you defeat him. but I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, so I'm not going to show you. Just make sure you pay attention to your surroundings. I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of a huge boss battle, but I'm not going to show you the whole thing because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. So that's about it for today, guys, and I hope you enjoy this. I will talk to you guys soon, and remember, you can't handle the boob.